My name is Carly Graham, and I'm here to talk to you about using technology to teach mathematics. Let's get started.
A positive relationship between math and ICT. Discovering the trends and issues of ICT in mathematics. This PowerPoint presentation is intended to inform you about the latest uses of ICT in the subject area of mathematics. The incorporation of ICT can be found within many classrooms in this present day, as our world is becoming more directed by the use of the internet and technology. I hope this presentation provides you with some new ideas and enlightenment about how we can become better teachers. I believe that our teaching of mathematics creates the foundation of students' opinions and ideas about the subject. We can use ICT to show students that learning math can be a journey of discovering and storytelling. I believe if teachers can instill feelings of passion and excitement about math within their students, we will be setting them up for success in the future. The Internet is a resource that offers unimaginable possibilities for teaching and learning math. Children in today's society are exposed to many opportunities to use the Internet, therefore most have a basic understanding of web browsing. The Internet can be a vital tool for teachers to support student learning about math. The article I've read is by Barry Cassane, and he identifies 6 options for learning math on the Internet. I have chosen to speak about interacting with objects, reading materials, and communication because I feel they can be easily incorporated into my future teaching and provide a richer learning experience. Interactive objects. Students can access websites which allow them to interact directly with virtual mathematical objects. In the past, students have learned from using multi-base arithmetic blocks, but with the addition of the Internet, the virtual versions of these MABs, which share the same properties, are of unlimited supply and accessibility. Teachers can also access online lessons that involve the use of interactive objects online, as well as instructions provided for the students. There is an abundance of interesting material about math available on the Internet. These readings contain interactive elements on screen, hyperlinks to other pages, as well as video or audio content. Using the Internet as a means for reading mathematic material can ignite a passion for math within students that might not be sparked by reading in conventional ways. The last option I have chosen is communication. The Internet provides a worldwide community for students and teachers to partake in. There are no constraints of geographical location, and students can use websites to pose questions, collaborate with each other, and learn amongst their peers. The Internet can also be an assistive tool when students are not in the classroom. They can pose questions on websites and seek clarification from online communities. The importance of communication through the Internet reinforces the fact that mathematics is of worldwide importance. I believe that the Internet is an added luxury when teaching mathematics. Computers increase the availability and accessibility of resources that are used in the classrooms. When computers are used to its fullest potential, more than just a vehicle for storing numbers, it can provide in-depth and dynamic learning experiences for students that they wouldn't acquire in a regular classroom. I felt that there were 2 weaknesses within this article. Unfortunately, not all classrooms in Australia have access to computers, therefore they are unable to experience the benefits. It is not fair that students in rural Australia are unable to explore and learn from computers like students in privileged parts of the country. I also think that problems can occur if computers do not have the required software to run certain programs. This places the teacher in a difficult position where they must adapt their lesson because of a technical difficulty. In the future, I hope that with government funding and possible fundraisers, disadvantaged schools will be more equipped with computers and all programs will run on the same software. I recently viewed a short film about the role technology can play in teaching mathematics. When the word computer is mentioned, many parents and children automatically think of fun, game playing, and time wasting. The National Science Foundation believes that computers can be used to bring mathematical concepts to life through digital interaction and animated forms. They provided 2 examples for me. Jeremy Rochelle and Jim Caput developed an educational technology called SimCalc and a software program called MathWorld. The project uses a combination of technology and reformulated curricula to democratize access to the mathematics have changed. The software program MathWorld provides students with year-level appropriate cartoon worlds where they can manipulate graphs and learn about relationships and functions within them. The software's aim is to develop students' mathematical literacy and enable them to look at a group of numbers and see the relationships amongst them. The second example is of Cognitive Tutors, which is a program that allows students complete individually twice a week. It identifies what the students do not know and creates questions and guidance that is geared specifically towards their weaknesses. I believe that this program would also be beneficial for a teacher because it's like having 24 assistants in the classroom. Cognitive Tutors helps because the classroom of students is a very diverse group where some students might be struggling with concepts that other students are confidently performing. It adapts the questions and content and works at building up the students' weaknesses. This will hopefully assist in getting all the students on the same learning course. Being able to individually assist each student when they are struggling with a concept would be unimaginable in a regular classroom. By having mathematical concepts come to life on screen, the students are able to develop a better understanding. The video itself was really engaging and informative with clear concepts and directions. I believe that a negative of using technology to teach math is that it requires a lot of commitment from the teachers in order to make it worthwhile. Since technology is always evolving, teachers must be dedicated to learning about upcoming things. The programs and software might also cost a lot of money to bring into the schools, and not all schools have additional money to go out and buy the latest programs. Therefore, this isn't easily accessible by all. The video could also use some visual representations of the program in action to make it more understandable. A PBS radio station recently had a podcast about a school district in Morrisville, North Carolina, that has gone digital. In today's society, our schools and homes are disconnected in that children spend hours on computers while they're at home, but when they're at school, technology is hardly utilized. The schools provide every student from grades 4 to 12 with a laptop for academic use. The teachers believe that the computers provided the big hook which is needed to engage the students into the lesson, and they also felt that they are able to reach all their students' individual learning styles. Auditory learners were able to listen to books, visual learners could view movies or slideshows, and kinesthetic learners can learn from interactive websites. Homework and tests were done on the computers, which could be graded instantly and provide immediate feedback. Since the teachers did not have to spend hours grading paper, they were able to prioritize their time more effectively. The schools were questioned about the lack of thoroughly composed and written ideas, but they disagreed with that criticism and said that, for example, students would be writing an essay while they're creating a news report. By allowing students access onto the internet, the question of censorship and ineffective use often comes to mind. The school combats this by blocking certain websites and searches of inappropriate phrases. The principals also have unlimited access to the student's computer screens. If he or she sees a student misusing the computer, she can send a message to that student and ask them what they are doing. The school also commends the computers for an increased graduation rate and decreased dropout rates. In the future, they hope to maintain their accomplishments and promote digitalized schools all around the country. Many of the strengths of using computers have been mentioned in the previous slides, but I will provide a couple details on what I felt were the most important uses of this technology. First of all, the podcast provided an excellent example of how we as teachers can incorporate computers into our everyday teaching. It was inspirational to see a school committing to a plan which will benefit all their students. Capturing students' imagination and passion at the beginning of the lesson is a very important use of the computer, and this can be possible every time. A weakness I found was that I questioned how easy it was for students to find answers to their problems. A computer can make certain jobs a lot easier, such as doing complex numeric equations, creating graphs, or writing essays with correct spelling and grammar. If students are able to complete these tasks without really trying, then they will be missing out on developing attributes such as determination and persistence. In my studies, I had a lecturer who was dedicated to teaching math and using the internet as an assistive tool for students' learning. I knew he had a webpage which was based on providing teachers with a variety of resources we could use in our lessons, as well as articles he had published and links to other professional sites. The main features of the website which I felt were most important to me were the articles supporting technology integrated into teaching of mathematics, and the resources which he had categorized for easy accessibility. The three categories on this website were teaching math, interactive math, and internet math, and each has a separate page which lists several websites and a description about each. For example, I chose interactive math, and I came across a website called National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. This website allows students to interact with 3D objects in ways unimaginable with normal MAB blocks. This website is full of interesting material and would be a great resource for any teacher. The biggest strength the website had was that it accumulated all the useful and interesting resources into one place. They all had in-depth descriptions about them, which made it easy to locate a website that suited your lesson. I felt that the weaknesses of this website were that the presentation and the format of the page were very questionable. The three categories on the website were placed in the lower half of the page and were not very noticeable. The colors of the background and fonts were also clashing sometimes. The requirement of Java and Flash also meant that some computers were unable to run the programs and applets which he featured. Throughout this presentation, I have mentioned many of the trends technology has brought about in the classrooms. I have summarized all these trends into one overarching theme, which is that technology is an assistive tool which should be utilized to create learning experiences which are unlike any other. The resources that students can access through the internet are normally unavailable in the standard classroom. The vast amount of resources and opportunities that the computers offer could also be the solution for reducing students' negative feelings towards this subject. I also feel that the power of computers also creates two major issues. Not all the classrooms have access to computers, and incorporating technology requires full commitment from the teachers. The students that have not experienced learning through technology are at a disadvantage when compared to students throughout Australia. They are missing out on partaking in programs which can strengthen their weaknesses, or software which allows them to digitally manipulate 3D objects in ways which are normally unimaginable. If computers are not made available to schools across Australia, then the question of fairness must be considered. School-wide approach and classroom-based approaches both require teachers' dedication to implement these programs. It will be worthless for teachers to commit half-heartedly, therefore we must think very hard before committing to implementing computers. I believe that schools should support teachers by providing up-to-date resources, funding, and professional development programs in order to support the huge commitment we must make. Overall, I believe that if computers are utilized effectively, they can help support the creation of learning environment which positively benefits everyone amongst us. Lastly, I will leave you with some ideas for how to incorporate the use of technology into our teaching and lessons. By incorporating the smallest addition to your lessons, you may become surprised by the world of opportunities technology can create. Firstly, technology can be used by using interactive sites as the foundations for our lessons. We can have video and audio forms of text available to cater for all learners. Let the students choose a presentation format for their work. Web pages for student sharing or help. Using blogs to update students and parents on upcoming events or homework. Or using graphing programs to teach changing relationships such as distance and time, or increase and decrease. Technology can also help us teachers so we can communicate with other professionals for advice and ideas. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope my presentation was informative and interesting. Have a good day.